One reason many of us fear job interviews, public speaking, or simply speaking up to offer an opinion is that we are afraid we're going to look nervous. Well, here's a little secret. The vast majority of nervous symptoms aren't visible from the outside. The racing heart, feeling overheated, dry mouth, clouded thinking, nausea. These are really uncomfortable from the inside, but we can't see them from the outside. And even those behaviors that we think should be observable aren't quite as obvious from the outside as they feel from the inside. So, for example, right this very second, I am shaking this hand. And if I hadn't drawn your attention to it, you probably wouldn't notice. But even if you did notice, as long as I didn't seem to be preoccupied with it, you wouldn't care. So if you do find yourself in the midst of a nervous reaction, take comfort in the fact that they can't really see your nervous symptoms to the degree you are feeling them. That doesn't mean that someone can't tell when you are nervous. It's just that it's not the symptoms of nervousness that are giving you away. The tells of nervousness, and a tell is the poker term for giving away your hand, the tells of nervousness are almost always someone trying to hide or mask their nervousness. And it is this apparent self-consciousness that gives away that they are nervous about or intimidated by the situation. The tells of nervousness are very common and extremely predictable. So this is where knowledge is power. If you know what people predictably do when they are intimidated or on the spot, you can train yourself to avoid these behaviors. When people are intimidated or uncomfortable, they get smaller. Feet together, hands in close to the body. And the voices get smaller, softer volume, higher pitch. Whereas the more comfortable we are, the more we take up space with our bodies and with our voices. When people are nervous, they are more likely to be asymmetrical. A shoulder may be raised, chin may be down, they may roll their hands or their feet. Whereas when we're more comfortable, we are literally more level-headed, literally more balanced. When people are self-conscious, they don't know what to do with their hands. The hands are usually in some lockdown position, in the pockets, behind the back, crossed in front in the fig leaf position, or folded formally on the lap. Whereas the more comfortable we are, the more our hands tend to talk when we talk. Just as hand gestures are often locked down, facial gestures are often locked into a mask. On the one end of the spectrum, you might have the smiley mask. It's not even that it's a lie. I might in fact be a very friendly person, but it's the locked-on nature of this that is the problem. On the other end of the spectrum, poker face. As listeners, we don't just listen to the words of the speaker, we read the face of the speaker. And this is protective because it leaves it up to you to fill in the context. When we are feeling more comfortable, our faces are more relaxed and naturally fluid. When under stress, we display more self-touch. For example, if I were shocked, I might do this. We tend to hold on to our own bodies when we're in a heightened emotional state. Well, when someone is experiencing speaking anxiety, it often looks like fingers touching each other or playing with a ring or with clothes. I'm not suggesting that your hands can't touch. It's the white knuckles or the literal hand-holding that you would want to avoid. When adrenaline hits, the neck muscles almost imperceptibly begin to tighten up. So the eyes begin to move around, but the head does not. This is a classic tell of nervousness. Whereas when we are more comfortable, the whole head turns, eyes and nose tracking in the same direction. When you put a cluster of these signals together, you get what I call tail wagging. That could include a shoulder pull, head down, eyes darting, excessive smiling. It's an attempt, when nervous, to make friends with the audience, to appear non-threatening and submissive. And that may work in the moment to take the pressure off, but in the long term, it won't help you gain their respect. The way that you counteract tail wagging and all of the tells of nervousness that I've just outlined is by focusing on strong posture, strong voice, and strong eye contact. These are the explicit behaviors of the credibility code. And here's the good news. The symptoms of nervousness, which aren't really within your active control, aren't undercutting your image. However, the tells of nervousness, which might be undercutting your image, are within your active control. So take control over them. Develop your skills. Because when you build a strong skill set, an authentic mindset of confidence will follow.